Thanks for joining us at 7 o'clock. I'm Tracey McCain.
And I'm Caitlin Nuclo. You're watching Eyewitness News here on the Wax. We have a lot to talk about this morning, but first, let's say hello to meteorologist Jill Gilardi with a check on that first alert forecast. And we do have a first alert for today, right?
Yes.
With the rain?
Yeah, both commutes could be impacted by some scattered showers and downpours. Scott was tracking that on Channel 3 this morning. We are still tracking activity. So yeah, there could be some impacts to travel and outdoor activities. There are some downpours even out there this morning. So heavier rain resulting in limited visibility, certainly wet travel conditions, but not everyone dealing with the heavy rain. Real spotty in nature off to the east, but we are tracking some of those downpours, especially across Hartford County. So Burlington all the way up through Canton, near Avon, down through Plymouth. This is an area where the rain is coming down pretty heavily for you. And as we take a look from Simsbury all the way up through East Granby and Suffield, another area of Terriffill even seeing the downpours. And also across northern Litchfield County, been watching some of this heavier rain. No lightning being detected. It's now shifting north of North Cornwall. So the rain is coming down, very evident right now, pouring buckets in Windsor Locks where it is 77 degrees. We have very mild temperatures this morning, starting off in the 70s across the entire state. Of course, when you have the clouds around, it's not going to feel so bad. We start to get in some breaks of sunshine, gets to feeling toasty in the upper 80s by noon, and we could see more showers, even some thunderstorms developing this afternoon and this evening. Certainly could impact travel and outdoor plans. So we'll get into what that first alert futurecast looks like and more coming up in the next 15 minutes. Let's get an update though on traffic with Caitlin. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Jill. Good morning, everyone. 7:02. If you're heading out the door right now, majority of the state not looking terrible. We do have those wet roads depending on where you are traveling though. So just make sure that you're keeping it tuned in here to the Wax. And if you have not already downloaded the WFSB weather app, it does come in handy to let you know where that rain is pinpointed. It will give you direct alerts to your phone. We have typical delays down through Fairfield County at this time. 95 southbound, New Haven to the George Washington Bridge. Rest of the state nice and quiet still. The Parkway more substantially backing up, but we're crash and incident free. No construction at this time. That daytime work will pick up just about 8:30, 9 o'clock this morning. You can see some damp roads left over here in Hartford and in Middletown where things are slowing down at the light. A little bit of damp road conditions left over here in Waterbury and Meriden, not looking too bad, but again, nice and light traffic volume throughout the majority of the state. So fingers crossed we stay crash and incident free. I'll keep you posted throughout the remainder of your morning. I'm Caitlin Francis with your Connecticut Chevy First Alert Traffic Report, driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
Right now to a developing story we've been on top of all morning in Hartford.
A man was shot dead last night, and now police are revealing some new information on the person they believe killed him.
Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Luke Hydash has the latest from Hartford Police Headquarters.
This morning, we learned that Hartford police have charged a Manchester man with murder after that deadly shooting last night, shortly after 7 o'clock on Garden Street, right near Nelson Street. And the victim was a 43-year-old man, Randy Gunn, who lives in that neighborhood. Police say they were called to that scene shortly after 7 o'clock last night. That's where they found Gunn, who had been shot multiple times. They brought him to the hospital, but he was pronounced dead a short time later. Not long after that, police tracked a car involved in all of this over to Manchester. They found it empty, and not long after that, they found Arnold Marcus, a 53-year-old man who they have arrested and charged with murder. This is homicide number 11 in Hartford this year.
And especially lately is personal disputes that get out of control. And my message is the same. This is not a we should have been here. This is not a someone should have known about this. This is a loud personal dispute. Call us before it gets out of hand.
This morning, Marcus is being held on a $2 million bond, awaiting arraignment. In Hartford, Luke Hydash, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Well, mother is dead and her child is still missing after nearly 5 years. And now we've learned the child's father, Jose Morales, is headed to trial after rejecting a plea deal. He's charged with murder in the death of Christine Holloway. She was found dead at their home in Ansonia during a welfare check back in 2019. And their little girl, Vanessa, has never been found. She was only a year old when she vanished. Ansonia police issued a statement saying that for Vanessa Morales, unfortunately, we are where we were almost 5 years ago on December 2nd, 2019. Vanessa's whereabouts are unknown, and we continue to follow up on leads and review the case to find answers for the family of Vanessa. But the case is still an open and active investigation. A trial date has not been set yet for Morales.
Southington police are looking for suspects wanted in a shoplifting spree. Here's one of the men captured on store surveillance. Most recently, they pulled off a massive heist at the BJ's on Spring Street, where they stole more than $2,000 worth of merchandise. Police say they loaded it all into a Jeep Grand Cherokee and then took off. Call police if you have any information.
Well, this morning we've learned that Vice President Kamala Harris plans to announce her running mate as soon as Monday. Harris and her VP pick will hold the ticket's first rally in Pennsylvania the next day. Yesterday, Harris held her biggest campaign rally to date in the battleground state of Georgia.
The momentum in this race is shifting, and there are signs that Donald Trump is feeling it.
Meanwhile, former President Donald Trump plans to attend the National Association of Black Journalists annual convention today in Chicago.
President Biden is expected to kick off the Democratic National Convention as a keynote speaker on the first night. Biden was previously slated to close the program, but with the president then passing the torch to Vice President Kamala Harris, plans, of course, have changed. The following night, former Presidents Bill Clinton and Barack Obama are expected to speak. Harris's running mate will speak to the convention on Wednesday night, and then she will cap off the convention Thursday night when she formally accepts the Democratic nomination.
In Senate testimony, the acting director of the Secret Service acknowledged several security failures leading up to this month's attempted assassination of former President Trump. Senators lashed out at Ronald Rowe for lapses, including his agent's failure to communicate with local snipers, for supposedly rejecting a local police officer offering to fly a drone to surveil overhead, and also for letting Trump take the stage after reports surfaced of a suspicious man. Well, this morning, most food store deli departments in our state have reopened.
That's after they were closed again for cleaning due to concerns Boar's Head deli meats could be linked to a deadly listeria outbreak. Channel 3's Olivia Schuler joins us live in studio explaining the latest on the recall and what you need to know.
Tracey and Caitlin, it's definitely a sticky situation. On Tuesday, Boar's Head expanded its recall, which was originally issued last week. And according to the Department of Agriculture, items for listeria concerns now include an additional 3,500 tons of ready-to-eat meat and poultry products. That's 71 products produced between May 10th and July 29th under the Boar's Head and Old Country brand names. Stop and Shop and Big Y both immediately took action after the initial recall and closed last Friday to disinfect. After Tuesday's recall expansion, both Stop and Shop and Big Y Deli shut down again for deep cleaning and sanitation, and they discarded any products that could have come in contact with any recalled items. The USDA Food Safety encouraged all delis to toss any open meats and cheeses. At this point, delis are reopened, but the listeria concerns are something to be cautious of. Health officials say as of Tuesday, the listeria outbreak was to blame for sickening at least 34 people across 13 states, 2 of them which have died. Now, to keep your family safe, be mindful of these symptoms of listeria infection. They include fever, muscle aches, vomiting, and diarrhea. This can be a serious sickness for those over 65 and for pregnant women. Now, on our website, we have an updated list of all the items recalled, so check your fridge and contact your doctor if you're experiencing any symptoms. Live in the studio, Olivia Schuler, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Well, now to a breaking development overnight in the war between Israel and Hamas. Right now, Hamas is vowing vengeance in response to the assassination of their leader in Iran.
Let's get right to Channel 3's Roger Suzan and at the First Alert Desk to break down what we know so far. Roger, what's the latest?
Yeah, Caitlin, Trace, experts warn this really could become a tipping point and lead to an escalation of this already deadly conflict in the Middle East because, as you mentioned, the Ayatollah in Iran has already blamed Israel for this assassination and warned that Iran will take revenge. So let me break this all down for you because, again, the stakes really are incredibly high. Hamas claims that their political leader, Ismail Haniyeh, was killed early this morning in Tehran. At this point, no one has officially claimed responsibility, but Hamas leaders are adamant that Israel is behind this violence. And this is actually the second Iran-backed leader that was apparently assassinated within the last 12 hours. Israeli military leaders say they conducted an airstrike in Beirut and killed the Hezbollah commander directly involved in the deaths of 12 children and teens in a rocket attack over the weekend. So the situation really casts an even larger shadow over the U.S.-backed efforts to negotiate for a ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas in Gaza. That could complicate the process. As we mentioned, the Ayatollah has sworn revenge. You can find his full statement on the WFSB News app. Live at the First Alert Desk, I'm Roger Suzan. And Tracy, back to you.